by my standards. And he is, of course, happily married. His charming wife, Shiba, is here. He has 2 children. Labid, by profession, is an electrical engineer, but he's a budding entrepreneur. And I really am very impressed because in this environment, to establish a business is a great achievement because it requires innovation, it requires courage, it requires hard work, discipline, and focus. And Naveed has all those characteristics which makes us very proud of him. He has established his own business, which is called Banyan Technology Solutions. It serves the federal government in providing a solution to technology problems. Prior to establishing his own business, he worked with federal agencies, including the Department of Defense and various private organizations. Despite the heavy workload and the demand of his job, he's very active in the community, and he brings his business and management skills to community work, and that's really a great asset. In addition, he's an Islamic scholar, and that combination makes him especially suited to speak to us tonight on the significance of Eid, and therefore I welcome Sayyid Nabil. Good.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Shatafa, Your Excellency, Madam Ambassador, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's really my honor and a pleasure to be here to speak for a few minutes about Eid al-Fitr. MashaAllah, Madam Ambassador herself, explained to all of us very beautifully the importance of Eid al-Fitr, of Ramadan, and the most important thing that she pointed out, which I was hoping to point out, but she very well did, about the importance of reaching out and communicating with each other in the community. So I'm going to take a few minutes and just talk about the significance of Eid, or Eid al-Fitr. Growing up in India and now living in the US for so many years, there are some important characteristics of Eid al-Fitr that we should all take away. Most important, the significance of Eid al-Fitr is a day of thanksgiving. It's a day where we all assemble in brotherly and joyful atmosphere to offer our gratitude to God for all the blessings that He has imparted us through all our lives, especially after 30 days or 29 sometimes of fasting. That's a day of thanksgiving, very important. It's also, along with Thanksgiving, is the day of charity. As on the day of Eid al-Fitr, we are required to give Zakat al-Fitr, which is a charity which is incumbent upon every single member of the family. This is one charity which is incumbent upon every single member of the family, regardless whether you earn or not. Eid is a day of forgiveness. This is a day where we, in India, here in the US as well, and inshallah today as well, we will meet and greet each other with an embrace. This is the day where you will try to bring your hearts closer to each other. That's an important significance of Eid, where you bring your hearts close to each other. Eid is a day of visits. Today, we are delighted to be here in the Indian Embassy, to visit here on the day of Eid. We're growing up as a youth, as child, and every one of us, we used to, on the day of Eid, go out and visit all our friends and neighbor and look forward to Eid. I remember that. I'm sure many of you do. The one rupee or 2 rupee or 50 cents that you would get. Last, but I believe one of the most important significance of Eid is unity. Eid is one event that has the most important significance of unity. And there is no better way for me to relate the significance of unity than by sharing with you a story which really happened with me growing up as a little boy, as Shatafa pointed out, in Calcutta, which is where I'm from. Some 30 plus years ago, just like last year, maybe 2, Eid al-Fitr coincided with Durga Puja. We just celebrated the Sahara as well for many of you, and inshallah, Diwali is upcoming. In India, unlike here, Eid, the Eid prayer is prayed at Eidgah, which is a large open ground where the prayer is offered. Now, during Durga Puja and during the time of the year, generally in Calcutta, it rains. And on the day of Eid, in our area where I was growing up, it rained quite a bit, to the extent that the ground was flooded, and the Eidgah was really muddy, and there was no place for us to, in the area, to pray the Salatul Eid. It was a dilemma, and the Imam and everybody else was trying to figure out how to address this issue. Now, to resolve the dilemma, the non-Muslim youths in that area, they came to the rescue to resolve the dilemma. Because for Durga Puja, you erect pandals all over the city. For those of you who've been to Calcutta, it's beautiful that time. You have pandals and all erected over the city. So in our area as well, there was a very huge pandal that was erected. So the solution that they resolved to and helped us all was that they dropped a curtain in front of it, and the rest of the pandal area, which is in front of the puja, is a covered shamiana, covered from the top as well as the bottom, so that was not wet. And then they helped us lay out the prayer rugs and the chadars and everything else under the pandal all over the area. And that's where we and everybody in the community offered Eid prayer. And while we were offering the Eid prayer, they and the rest of them stood guard with the traffic flow and making sure everything was clear and clean. And since then, that tradition has continued, where the youth of that area still today, whenever I do get a chance to go back there, they unite, get together, erect the pandal, help each other in time of Eid, in time of Diwali and Dasara. So that is the most important significance in my mind for Eid, for reaching out to each other. So at the end, I want to make a dua, and I would like all of you, it's a very one-line dua, to say Ameen at the end. Just I pray that Indians of all color, creed, religion, and ethnic background continue to be united for the common good of humanity.
Ameen, Ameen.
Thank you so much for your time.
Your Excellency, the Ambassador, Honorable Mr. Sinha,